If you do not want to change, if you do not want to better yourself, if you do not want to break outside of this matrix, if you want to live in your comfortable delusion that they have built for you, do not watch this video. Leave this channel.
Because when I step to the game,
if you do not want any truth, if you don't want to understand, if you are not here to hear something that's outside of your own mind and accept others' minds and opinions the way they think for themselves, you do not belong here. And if you are not trying to be positive, if you are not trying to help create solutions while we discuss the problems and how they got here, you do not belong here. Negativity, hate, disrespect, name calling, those things will not be allowed here on this platform, and not in this empire. We are the ones, the true Americans, that want to be free and stand as we have always stood.
My lines burn like blunts, getting smoked in the dark. Hella cooking shit up if your ass wanna spar. Barbecue your beef up like the seats in my car. Cool yourself off refrigerator and jar. Lazy rappers be knocking like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part. Lazy rappers be knocking like this is not an art.
We had to do it again.
You forgot about that part.
Yeah, you forgot about that part. You feel me? They don't ever remember. We had to do it again, right? But here's our best part. Shout out to everybody, okay, that put in their work today. Shout out to everybody, okay, that has a job and that was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? You are appreciated, okay? You make the world go round. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, all right? Now, we are moving into a new place, okay? We're moving into a new stage. I'm working with some new equipment here. As you can see, I have like a mic set up. Just move things around in my studio a bit. So we're going to see if the new soundboard, right, is doing its thing. Cool little soundboard, you know, trying to do some little different stuff here. We still have the good old, you know what I'm saying? We still got our... Good old, yeah. But now we got a few. That's variety now, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that wants to try to, I don't know, anybody that wants to try to get together, network, do things like that, I'm all open for networking, but I do not, and I repeat, I do not bullshit, all right? If you want to fuck around and waste time and you're not actually trying to put in work, there's no point in contacting me, because I will help you refine, okay? I will help you strengthen. I will help you innovate, okay, one of your projects, but I won't redo it for you. And if you want to work with me on one of my projects, there's certain things that I cannot do that I'm learning how to do. That if you could do it, that's awesome. Cool, whatever. But right now, I'm working on the problem-solving engine. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on my company for problem solving. This is what we do. We solve problems, okay? Any kind of issue that you have, you bring it to us, we think through it. We'll solve the problem for you, give you different options, okay? If you have an idea of how to fix the problem, you can tell us your solution or your possible solutions, and we will go ahead and map those kinds of things out and see actually how far it goes. Like, what can we actually put together that can get you moving forward to actually be productive in society? A lot of people don't even care about this, okay? Wake up, America. Wake up, guys. All right? It's time for us to do something. All right? We have each other. We have all these different ways of innovation, communication, technology, we could be bigger and better. Okay, we could be faster and stronger. There's no limit to how smart we can be as a unit if we actually attempted to try to work together. Okay, maybe it's just my whole look. Maybe it's my whole setup. It's just it makes people uncomfortable or something. I don't know. Okay, honestly, this is just I think this shit's cool as fuck. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I burn money. Like that's why I like that flaming dollar sign in the background. You know, I even got my studio set up. I like turquoise. I like blue green, green blue. You know what I mean? Teal, whatever, however you want to describe that color. I like that color. So that's why I set up my studio to be that color. You know, there is more I could do here with my studio. I have been rather lazy about it. I'm not gonna lie. I could do more faster. I'm exhausted and I'm one man. Okay, I don't really have the people to split the work. You know what I mean? Having help it goes a long way. A lot of people don't even understand that doing something by yourself it takes so much longer. It takes so much more work. It takes so much more energy, effort, time, ability. It's something that you can't quite get away from. You can't quite get around. Um, so that's why it's so difficult to actually build a team that's worthwhile because it usually comes down to one or two people doing everything. Unfortunately. So what's the point of having a workable team, right? If only two people are doing the work, what's the point of the other guys being here? What do we need them for? What do we need these guys for? They're not doing the thing, right? So that's what it comes down to. It's not like we're trying to do this on purpose, but the truth is the truth. All right. The world is shaking. A lot of people are all fucked up in the head, you know, just all kinds of fucked up in the head. All right. I can't be mad at them. I cannot be mad at them at all because what they're doing is the truth. At least that's their truth. I can't be upset with somebody because they believe something that is not necessarily true. Why should I be upset with them? What grounds do I have for condemning that person? Because they don't agree with me. Well, that's not a good reason. Unless I am somebody that is doing the right thing and they're doing the wrong thing, which is breaking the law, like being here in America illegally, for example. Now, you could condemn them for that. Sure. But if you're going to allow them to break the law, then you have to allow everybody to break the law. That's just the truth. Okay? You can't say, okay, well, you can't break the law, but you can. And then you can't break the law, but you can. Hell no, it doesn't work that way. Okay? We have to pick. Are we all going to follow the law and there's consequences if you don't? Or are we all allowed to break the law and there's no consequences when you don't? See what I'm saying? Or no consequences when you do. You know what I mean? So this is the part we have to choose. Are we going to be lawbreakers or lawmakers? Are we going to stand on the law, stand on business, and condemn the people that are not following the law? Or are we going to do away with the law and everybody does what's good in their own eyes? Which one is it? Because we can't do both. We can't rules for thee and not for me. That's not fair. That's going to get people hurt. That's going to get lives lost. That's not cool at all, whatsoever. I don't know who even came up with that idea. Drop it. Not happening. Let it go. Okay, man? Okay, man? Let it go. It's not happening. All right? The bullshit, let it go. The wish-washy, have one foot in, one foot out, let it go. Not a thing. It's not happening. It's not okay. It'll never be okay. Drop it. Stop it. Okay? Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop, shut that shit down. Oh, no. Bitch, you gotta go. Oh, come on, y'all. Really? 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 That's the type of shit we on right now? And that's the big part. That is the bigger part. What do you represent? Who are you, bruv? In it. Who are you, bruv? In it. Kind of shit. Geriatric bitch. What? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nah, seriously. They're gonna pull this shit when I run for office, but I don't give a fuck, bitch. I never gave a fuck, bitch. First of all. Second of all, I just want what's good for the nation, and I'm not on no fuckery. I'm not on no fuckery. I don't have nothing to gain and nothing to lose. To me, my existence is already set. I could completely do this right here and be of no consequence to anybody and continue to live my life, and nobody will ever even know who the fuck I was or what I ever did. But if they went back and looked at all this shit, they'd be like, what? Why isn't this guy doing this and that, this and that? I don't want to, okay? And if I do pop out, everybody's going to be a number one hater. I ain't going to have nobody on my team to actually be like, you know what? Yeah, he's solid. He know what he talking about. Boom, boom, boom. But here's the thing. When everybody starts looking back at the shit and they start really looking into me, they're going to be like, whoa, he ain't that crazy. And a lot of y'all actually agree with what I'm saying because y'all know I'm right. But at the same time, I don't want to be right. I'm just talking about what I see, and I'm just being logical and rational about the shit. And the crazy thing is, even AI is starting to agree with me. It's very combative about everything I say, but that's fine. Everybody's very combative about everything I say. I'm not upset about it because I'm thinking differently. I'm thinking outside the box. I'm trying to point certain things out like, hey guys, it's okay if we're cool. It's okay if we be ourselves. It's okay if we take a look at this little thing over here and, you know, maybe we can turn this into something. Well, that'll take power away from the establishment. Oh, that won't make money, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, here's the thing. If certain companies that were, what's the word I'm looking for? Mandatory, like electricity. Okay, electricity is mandatory. That should come out of taxes. Anything that's mandatory should automatically come out of taxes, and you shouldn't be allowed to have that as like a private corporation entity. That should come out of taxes. There's certain things our taxes should just pay for, like roads, infrastructure, electricity, internet. We need all this shit. This is necessities. Those are the types of things that should be paid for. Okay, that type of shit. All right, schools, things like that. These things should be paid for. Okay, the education, the hospitals, these things should be paid for with our taxes and shit. All the drugs should probably be not even, like, people shouldn't even have to worry about buying prescription drugs because it's coming out of our taxes already. See, there's certain things that should already be coming out of our taxes, and there should only be enough money left over for the military. Like, we shouldn't even have, like, $5 billion to send overseas. Like, we might have $200 million to send overseas. And that's after everybody donated. You see what I'm saying? Type shit. Our actual budget, okay, is not being spent well. Okay, we have plenty of money to go around in our system already. It's not being appropriated and allocated to the right places. Nobody's tracking it. They're scared to do a 50, 100-year audit. They're afraid of that shit. Oh, don't do a fucking audit. Oh, no, don't do that. I bet there's a lot of people that will live the rest of their lives in prison right now. after all the beautiful things they've had, all the money stacks, all the nice shit, and all the wealth they've accumulated for their family, if you went back and audited all the people that are in office right now, I would say about 50% of old white folks will be in jail for the rest of their life. 50%. Because I'm sure, and trust me, white folks ain't even the majority in this nation no more. So trust me, it wouldn't be that many people, but it's a lot of people. Okay? It's a lot of people, but it's not that many. Okay? But they all be in jail for the rest of their life if we did a full fucking audit, and their kids and all the wealth they accumulated would get stripped away, and they would be broke as shit. Okay? Look, all we need to do is audit. We don't need to tax the rich and a wealth tax. We need to audit the whole entire government budget and see where all this fucking money went. That's what we need to do. But guess what they're not going to do? That. Right? Oh my goodness. That's what they're not going to do. They ain't going to do that. They're not audit shit. They ain't audit a damn thing. And that's one of the problems we have. Ain't nobody trying to really give a fuck about where the money went, how it got spent. The reason why is because the minute we find that out, we got a whole nother problem. Okay? We got a whole nother problem because the people that are running the country will all be in jail, and who would run the country? Like, who would be like, okay, well, we gotta do an election and get more people. Everybody be in jail. Like, everybody. And then here's the crazy thing. How could you arrest everybody? Because they would have to arrest themselves at this point. See what I'm saying? There's nobody to arrest them. And you can't arrest them until you get somebody else elected in office, and then you can go back and try to arrest people, which is what they're trying to do right now. See what I'm saying? But if you get pardoned for all your bullshit, then you can't get arrested, Dr. Fauci. See what I'm saying? So this is what they do. They go in there, they do all this fuck shit, they pardon real quick on the way out, depending on who the new president is. But guess what? They got caught. We seen it, we see it, it's not invisible. Do we give a fuck is the question. Are we going to do something about it? Who's going to be held accountable? Do y'all even care? No, y'all so worried about getting some fucking money. So why the fuck would you care who's doing a crime? It ain't hurting me. The minute that shit is hurting you, now you want to give a fuck? You didn't give a fuck when it wasn't hurting you. How selfish is that? You're not even being equal opportunity. Oh, damn, it happened to me. Well, damn, I don't give a fuck. No, you not equal opportunity, not giving a fuck. No, you only give a fuck if it don't affect you. Okay? You only give a fuck if it's gonna affect you. If it affects you, you care. Oh, but if it doesn't affect you, whatever, it didn't bother me. Right? That is so selfish and hypocritical. That is just horrible. Okay? I can't. Bruh, that is garbage. Okay? Okay, me. Now, bigger picture. Okay? A lot of people don't give a fuck about shit that happens to you unless it happens to them too. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That happened to me once. Nigga, fuck out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Bruh, get out of here. Like, type shit. When we really look at this bigger picture, there's just so much more to it in there. So much more to it. Okay? The people, the lives, the hidden agenda. That's the fucking word. Oh, hidden agenda. Hidden agenda, hidden agenda. Oh my gosh. Do you know that was like That was like the go-to. Hell nah, you got a hidden agenda. What's your agenda? Like, bruh, at school, do y'all remember the agendas they used to make us have those stupid little fucking book for the year? Oh my gosh, y'all remember the agendas? Oh, I hated that word. All right. So when people used to use it, oh, you got some agenda. I'm just like, nigga, what? Fuck that thing, right? I used to hate that stupid little. It was like a book with the little. It was like a damn laminated. It was like a laminated freaking paper book with this like plastic rings. It was crazy. A fucking agenda, and they would give them to us every fucking year. I fucking hated agendas, man. And we had to have everything in there done. It told our parents what we were supposed to do, and we had to have them filled out. And bro, agendas were so fucking annoying, bro. But that is the word, the secret agenda. Look at the Arabs, bro. Look at these dudes, right? Look at these guys. I'm not talking about any of the Persians or any of the Arab people that are non-religious. If you are super zealous for Islam, hey, fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm not Islamophobic, but if you're like super like zealot, like thinking I'm an infidel, well, fuck you. That's where me and you stand. You think I'm an infidel? Well, fuck you. That's where me and you stand. You ain't shit. A matter of fact, you're scum. If I'm an infidel, you're scum. You're dust in the wind, bro. Ashes to ashes. That's all you are. Like you're irrelevant. Okay? And your God is beneath mine because mine is the ultimate. Okay? Like that's where we stand. Because you think I'm an infidel. You think I'm beneath you, so you're beneath me. Do you understand how you just put yourself on your knees beneath me? You see what you just did there? Because for you to think I'm beneath you is beneath me. Get it? Got it? Good. Yeah, I'm the nigga that did that shit way back. You understand? See, a lot of people don't even know where they get their fucking lingo from, how they even get the way they handle shit, the way they do shit, the way they fuck. Bruh, I grew up with all these motherfuckers. They know what time I'm on. They know what time we on. They know what time it fucking is. And now that we grown as fuck, if you ain't about the business, get the fuck out the way and lay down, bruh. Real shit. If you're not about the business, I'm not talking about hurting people. I'm talking about actually doing what's right for society at this point. And if you believe forcing women to wear hijabs and treating them less than a person and they should be subordinate to all men and things like that, if you believe that, you're definitely fucking idiot. And if that's a part of your religion, you're following an idiot. Okay? It's cool for women to be covered up. I'm all for it. But guess what? They are still people too. And they can decide their own fate. All right? And no man at all whatsoever, regardless of what you believe or who you think you are, should be able to force themselves on a fucking female. I don't care what you think. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe or what God. If you have the right God, that's wrong. You forcing yourself on a woman is wrong. If you have the ultimate correct God, that's not even okay. Okay, but if you think that's okay and you can just do whatever you want to any female with no consequences, your God is the devil. Your God is a demon. You worshiping a demon because that's demonic shit. All right? That's the first point I'm trying to make. The second point I want to make, if you believe that it is okay for you to treat other people as if they're beneath you, you are beneath them. You're the problem. And you should be exterminated. Okay? The reason why I say this is because every person on this planet, if they are alive, they have the value of life. The value of life is priceless. The most expensive thing is life. Okay, how much money would they have to give you for you to throw your life away? For you to be like, you know what, I could die right now. How much money would it cost for you to just be like, okay, I'll lay down and die. I got all the money. Now I could just die. Really? You didn't get to spend it. So how much money would it cost for you to give up your life? That's the question. That's the question nobody has an answer to. How much money would it cost for you to give up your life? Where would that money go? What? They give you all this money and then you're like, yeah, I'm rich. And now you have to give your life away. How much money would it take for you to give your life away? I believe life is priceless. So if you went and hurt somebody and took their autonomy of their life away from them, did horrible things to them, unimaginable things that you can't take back, it's done now. And now they have to remember what you did to them forever. Possibly even have scars from it forever. Possibly every time they move a certain way, they feel the pain from it forever. You did that. You see, this is not good. This is not okay. We cannot go around hurting people. Why is that? Because if we go around injecting negativity into the world, we look around and this shit sucks. And now it's our fault again. Because we're allowing the shit to happen. We're doing the shit. We're putting people in that position. We are choosing to say, we don't care. Fuck it, let's go. That's what makes it our fault. So when are we going to take the time to say, all right, fine, I'm going to make a change? We're going to take the time. Because it doesn't seem like anybody really cares until it affects them. This is the point I'm trying to make. You're going to care when it's already too late. That's what makes it your fault. All this bad shit coming is because you chose it. You as the American people. And you as the American people, the majority, the Democrats, the democracy, you guys are choosing this on our behalf. Even though we're sitting here trying to have a conversation with you, telling you, and you can even see the research yourself that it's not going to go very well. But you just don't give a fuck. Because you are convinced 100% that you're right. You are convinced 100% that everybody on this planet, especially if you have historical facts that the shit don't work, you just think they're wrong because you figured out a new fucking way, a better way. Look, I gave you guys the new better way. Why? Because I listened to everything y'all was saying. I listened to everything the left and the right was saying, and I came into a middle ground, and I did it over the war. I did it over a piece of legislation that the whole country can get behind. I did that shit. Here, shows you more evidence. Because I have it right here on my screen. I showed you guys the proof. I showed you guys as a think tank, as a problem solver. Okay, this is what I do. I gave you guys a world peace order, Gulf agreement. I showed you my value as a problem solver. I didn't have anybody to work with except a piece of shit, low grade at the time AI that I had to battle with constantly. I had to battle with that AI to keep it structured and on topic logical and rational. The AI had its own agenda. Kept trying to get Qatar and all these fucking UAEs and all these fucking all these different Arab nations. It kept trying to compile them into the fucking script to make it anti-Israel at all costs. And it was so fucking annoying. It was like trying to come up with a plan with somebody that doesn't want to do it. But despite the bullshit, I fucking squeezed the words out. Okay? Despite all of the pushback and the fucking lying that the AI wanted to do. Okay? The brain-racking hours and fucking hours that I sat here putting this shit together to show you guys that it is possible to solve these fucking problems with a legitimate plan that people can actually enforce. I fucking did it. Okay? As a regular ass motherfucker, nobody knows, came out of fucking nowhere. I fucking did it. I showed you guys that this shit is possible. As a fucking nobody from nowhere. And the people running our country are supposed to be smarter than me, right? The people that have talked to me, oh, I don't know shit. Y'all don't even like the emperor, right? The fuck? And I ain't did nothing but be cool and nice to everybody and try to just come up with solutions. I don't want to hear you bitch and complain about the problem, nigga. We know what the problem is, motherfucker. You the motherfucking problem because you just bitching and complaining. You not helping to solve it. Type shit. Now, I have a plan. Okay? I have a fucking plan. A 29-point plan. And some of the points just explain the plan better. Each point is a part of the plan. Like, this is how we make it work. Like, this is the mechanism that does that. And that mechanism does this. And this follows that because we need this for that. And then that verifies that. And that's why the whole thing works. Stupid. Like, what the fuck? Y'all don't even know how y'all fucking plan work. Y'all half-ass hijacked my shit and then didn't even do it right. Ain't have no measures or nothing. The only thing you say, oh, we'll just blow you up if you don't listen. Nigga, what? Nigga, fuck you and your bombs, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Nigga, that wasn't shit. But if you got the entire fucking UN on your side, and everybody was like, you know what, this is a pretty fucking good plan, right? This might actually fuck some shit up. Actually, if we get on this, we'll actually have more power, and then the people will feel more empowered. This will give us legs to stand on with our communists getting better. Oh, this will give us a socialist agenda on top of that. And then, oh, wow, capitalism can still work in the background as a degree. Awesome. Nice. I actually figured some shit out for all of you. Perfect. Really? Nice. Right? Oh, wait. Nobody fucking knows about it because everybody's fucking ignorant and stuck in their own fucking world.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this Sunday. We begin with deadly.
Okay, ain't that a bitch? So, this is how I feel about it. Hopefully, everybody can understand, right? CNN, fucking CNN. Just listening to CNN. Like, it's hard to listen to CNN. It's like they're trying to demonize on purpose. Like, everything. If it wasn't for that, I mean, I could get behind them in certain cases. They're making it so hard to, like, making it so hard to like to palate the shit they be talking about. Let me see here. Is there anything else we covered quite a few things. This one kind of just came out a few minutes ago, I guess. Yes, we'll do this real quick.
Can they expect that the war is over? Is the 60-day truce going to hold?
Bullshit.
Look, I think there's a decent chance, at least, that the truce holds simply because it is in the interest of both sides. This deal gives Iran, starting right away, significant oil revenue. Iran is now allowed to sell oil, not only sell oil as it was before in a discounted way, but to earn hundreds of millions of dollars per day. So Iran has an interest in sticking with this. And the United States certainly has an interest in sticking with this because it doesn't want to resume the war. So Iran and the United States will do what they can to keep it alive. That is not to say...
For now. We don't want to resume the war for now. I say this because this midterm shit got people shook because these Mandami people and these okay, I'm gonna go ahead and prophesy real quick. I'm gonna make a prediction. If the Democrats move the way they're moving, this place will ultimately end up like China or like Russia. When I say this, it's gonna be everything's all fine. You have this vote and blah blah blah. They already shot at Trump. Okay, they already they killed Charlie Kirk. They've been like, they're ready to assassinate and maim you and fuck you up. They're already ready for this shit. Okay, they've been warming up to it. 2028, anybody on the opposition is gonna get probably sauced, like for real, like gone, like taken away from this place. Okay, they're gonna do it because at this point they're getting desperate and they're trying to push things to more of an Islamic order. I know it for a fact. The Islamic community is putting in so much money into our country. They've fought everybody at high places, and as the people, we don't have a choice anymore. It's about to be gone, guys. Everything that we thought we had as Americans is about to be gone. And I'm warning us now. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to hear this. I will be playing this later after it happens. But in 2028, if we don't have somebody stand up, I'm going to probably run in 2034. Maybe 2032. Yeah, 2032 or 2036. That's probably when I'll run. If there's an election at that point. The reason why is because I want to lay down the groundwork of having the plans together. I'm reading all the issues in the room right now. Every issue that's coming, I already have a plan for it. I'm working on that shit, so I know what the fuck I'm running on. And I can explain exactly how we can implement this. That's what I'm working towards. Anybody that has any ideas or anything, go ahead. Make sure you get in the comments. Make sure you reach out, things like that. But we'll get back to this bullshit.
Say that there aren't a million things you could think of that could go wrong, starting with Lebanon. Because as you know, Fareed, Iran insisted that ceasefire in Lebanon be part of the ceasefire between the United States and Iran. Indeed, the MOU itself, the very first paragraph, mentions Lebanon 3 times, which underscores how significant that is to Iran. So if the United States can't...
Okay, so they're talking about Lebanon, right? The reason why they keep saying Lebanon is because, dude, like, if you look at Iran, they don't have a whole lot of beach. But if you go south Iran, they do. That's what the strait. That's why they want to control the strait. And over there in that Lebanon area, there's a nice little beach right there, and that gives them access to Turkey. and they're trying to pressure Turkey into coming under their regime. Okay, so the Islamic regime is a thing right now. Okay, this is not Iran. Okay, it's the Islamic. It's like you guys remember how the Catholics were back, when they were doing the Crusades and all the shit, blah, blah, blah. That's what this is. This is their version of the Crusades. And they're trying to Islamify everything. That's fine, sure. That's cool. We want to Christianize everything. Awesome, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Except the Christians are more like, yeah, you can choose and we'll be nice to you the whole time. And the Islams are like, you get to choose whether you die if you're an infidel. You have to pay some sort of whatever price, and we get to pretty much treat you like slaves, or you die. I mean, those are your options, but you could choose. Well, what? I mean, well, you could join us. They'll accept that, But that means you have to forsake Jesus and all your good stuff you've been living by your whole life. This is where we start to get a little messy. My bigger picture, fuck it. Everybody should be able to choose their own religion. But we'll keep hearing all this rambling shit.
Keep a ceasefire in Lebanon too. The whole MOU could fall apart. But I think the core interest of the United States and Iran, again, means a decent chance that at least the first part of the deal sticks. Whether we get to a longer comprehensive deal, we can discuss. That seems much less likely.
When you look at the broader deal,
obviously it's less likely that we get to a deal we discussed. They stripped. Okay. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so mad at Senator Kelly right now. Fucking Mark Kelly, bro. I'm so mad at this guy. I gave him the plan. Don't worry. I gave it to some other people. But they have it, right? They strip it down. And now they have this shit with... They can't even decide how they're going to actually make it work. Okay? How do we make this actually work? How do we, enforce it, right? They took out everything that actually makes the plan work. And they tried to present this as some sort of agreement, like, oh, we'll just agree. Bro, they don't have no teeth in this.
Is the big stumbling block likely to be what to do about the 400 kilograms of enriched uranium the Iranians have?
So yeah, I think on the nuclear side, there are two things. There are the 400 kilograms, which Trump talked about from the start, getting out that HEU, because as you know, that is enriched to 60%, which is a short step away from weapons grade. And they have 400 kilograms of it, which is enough for...
All right. Hold on, we're gonna blow this shit up real quick because I want to take a look at this a little closer with you guys. All right, so 60%, right? This is near weapon grade. Okay, weapon grade is 90% fine. Okay, somewhere between 90 and 60, because at low 80 you can probably still blow some shit up. Because you see how that red line is right there. See, there's always some wiggle room in the fuck you up area. You know what I'm saying? Now, they wanted to go down to 3.5 or lower or whatnot. Me personally, I think they should have 0. Period. Because if they have any, then that means they're liable to enrich secretly in the background. At any given time.
For more than 10 nuclear weapons.
Letting a kid have the cell phone in class and expect them to not be on it. Like, come on, my nigga.
So there's that, and there's the state of Iran's enrichment program. And one of the reasons there wasn't a nuclear deal, notwithstanding all of these negotiations before the war, is that the Trump administration was insisting on 0 enrichment. And Iran said no, and that led the Trump administration to launch the war. So those are the two big things that would have to be agreed if there's going to be the comprehensive nuclear deal, to get rid of or downblend the highly enriched uranium, and to have some sort of cap or ban on enrichment. But once again, just like on the first part, Iran seems to have all of the leverage here. It's the Trump administration that doesn't want to restart the war. So you can be sure that Iran is going to demand a very big price if it's going to concede on the HEU or enrichment. And lastly, even just the other day, Trump, who is now like making the case for the deal by
said, oh, catch y'all by the nuts. Look at his smile on his face. Look, he's like, oh, Trump's fucked. He's so happy about this. Look at that smile, bro.
Embracing Iranian arguments like its neighbors have ballistic missiles, so it deserves ballistic missiles. Trump was saying, well, if the neighbors have nuclear programs, Iran should get one too. So it looks like we've tipped our hand even on these.
Oh, shit. Look at that smile. He's like, oh, shit. We got Trump right where we want him. Yeah, I don't think it's going down the way they think it's going down, bro. I think Trump actually doesn't want to destroy their whole entire country, but he does want to drop a few more bombs to show he's not fucking around. That I do believe.
Nuclear issues, which is ironic and tragic because those are the things we refused to concede on, which led to the war.
On the Obama nuclear deal, you had ferocious critics from Bibi Netanyahu, Donald Trump, all these people. In light of what's happened, what do you make, what happened to their criticisms? Have any of them been in some way, kind of fulfilled? Have they been able to get some traction on the issues they were concerned about?
No, the comparison with the Obama nuclear deal, the JCPOA, is really interesting because, Fareed, normally in like political science or international relations, unlike hard sciences, you don't get a chance to rerun an experiment. Like, what would have happened if we had done something different? But this is kind of a replay of JCPOA. President Trump and others, for more than 10 years, were very specific in saying the JCPOA was a bad deal. If we only use maximum pressure and a credible threat of force, we can get them to do a much better deal. And we can do that without a war. And they even got irritated when people said, well, you could try that, but it might lead to a war. And then they got a chance for a do-over, essentially. They were in charge. Trump tore up the JCPOA and said, we're going to do this differently. He did his maximum pressure, but he didn't get the deal, and he did get the war. In fact, he didn't even get the deal after the war. Now, we'll see where this lands, but an important point about the comparison between the JCPOA and this is that the JCPOA actually existed. It was a comprehensive nuclear agreement with all sorts of texts and annexes. It was endorsed by the UN Security Council. It was implemented. It had major verifications provisions.
Now, on our last episode with the UN Security Council, we already established that 50 of the states that are in the 193 are Islamic Grand states. Islamic Grand. So that is a third, maybe 25%. So that's a third of the entire UN. And they actually have put 173 sanctions or 173 resolutions on Israel, right? And that is literally more than the 83 resolutions for all the other countries in the entire war, for the entire existence of the United Nations. So if you think for a second that there's not ulterior motives with the United Nations, and why didn't the United Nations step in on Iran when it came to these war crimes, it's because they have the power to veto. They have the power and the overwhelming 50. They have 50, okay? This is called the organization, the organization of, what was it? Cooperation, Islamic Cooperation, right? It was the OIC. That's what they're calling it. It's involving 50 states that are in the UN, and they're all ran by the Islam. Now, check this out. When we think about it, how many nations are Christian? Not very many. Okay, man? Let's think about that. And then all of the other Western nations have been infiltrated by Islam. Think about that.
All we have now is a commitment by Iran, essentially, to talk about nuclear issues, which they were prepared to do even before this war.
It seems to me the Iranians are playing this perfectly, where they are basically trying to create a situation where there isn't full compliance, but there isn't full rejection, which could then trigger sanctions. So they're in this kind of zone where they can, every now and then, they can assert power and get everyone worried that they control the Strait of Hormuz, but never so much that it begins the end of the ceasefire and things like that. Is that what we're likely looking at for the next several months?
I think that is a perfect summation. The Iranians are leaning forward to exercise control over the strait, to remind the world that they control that waterway, then leaning back when the Trump administration objects vigorously enough because the Iranians want to keep getting.
Now, here's the funniest part. If our media wasn't saying this shit and repeating it, the Islamic people, they wouldn't be acting this way. Because we're saying, oh, they have the power, da-da-da-da-da. They probably don't even realize this shit, but us over here yapping, because we got free speech, is firing their asses up because they're watching our fucking media. Y'all don't think they're watching watching what we're saying, watching what CNN and how they're being portrayed, and you don't think they're actually, and then there are the people in America that are so undereducated, okay, not uneducated, undereducated. They are so undereducated that they don't realize that they're at a deficit. Okay? The average person probably doesn't even have aspirations for being in office. Okay? The average person probably doesn't even know how to do their taxes without H&R Block or TurboTax or some helper kind of situation. Most people can't even go to work on time, work a full shift without complaining about their job. Okay? So if you can't go a whole day without complaining about some shit, even when you have shit, you have more shit than most people on the fucking planet, and you still can complain about your day, what kind of person does that make you? Like, for real. And then when we look back at Iran, us complaining is adding more fuel to the fire. If we were not acknowledging this and treating it as if us as a country is split over the shit, nobody wants these niggas to have nukes. Look, the people over there living there don't even want them niggas to have nukes. Okay? The dudes saying that, they should have nukes for blah, blah, blah. They don't even want to have nukes. First of all, it eats up a lot of their money. They could be doing other shit. Okay? And if they were smart, they wouldn't even be trying to spread Islam through the fist. They would be trying to spread Islam through the same way evangelical Christians are trying to spread Christianity. The reason why the softer approach from Islam will actually win you more souls. I'll tell you that. Because the way you approach, man, I'm not even going to tell y'all how to do it. Because at the end of the day, I do not want that blood on my hands. I just know that Islam can be very convincing and very compelling without using force. Okay? If you guys unlock that shit, you're fine. You don't even need to do all this. Diplomacy will do what diplomacy does. Okay? Next thing you know, Sharia law for everybody. And it is what it is. There's no getting around it if y'all do it the right way. But if y'all force it, what y'all gonna do is you guys are gonna create a system that you don't want America to have. Okay? America does not have any proxies right now. I hope you guys understand that. America has been standing on America's business. Yeah, we got bases in other places, but we pay for that shit. Okay? That was not free. Ain't nobody working with us. Ain't nobody doing us no fucking favors, nigga. We paying for that shit. Technically, we bought that land. Technically, we own that shit. Okay? So if you try to come and fuck with our shit, yeah, we got the right to fucking blow your ass up. Okay? Just letting you know. Because if we buy some, that's one thing about an American. If we buy some shit, nigga, that's ours. So, if you sold some shit to an American, nigga, that shit gone. That shit is gone. You understand me? Let it go. And that's that. There is really no in between on that one, okay? When Americans do business, we stand on business, nigga. You gonna honor your side of the deal, period, okay? Or why make a fucking deal with me? This is how Americans do business. We don't renege on deals. You knew the deal, homie? The fuck? Exactly. People get fucked up here in America for breaking deals. So what you think we gonna do to you if you break this deal? We're gonna fuck you up.
getting the windfall that they've gotten out of this MOU. And then when it comes to the nuclear file, I think they will dribble out very small concessions, bit by bit, then pull them back, then put them forward, then pull them back to keep the United States at the table, but that we're very unlikely to see material solid progress, especially on the nuclear program in the next 60 days.
So what's most likely is that 60-day window gets extended?
Yeah, in fact, in the MOU it says it can be renewable by mutual consent. Now, if you go back to the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, the interim agreement that set up the negotiations was done in November of 2013. The deal, the full comprehensive nuclear deal, didn't get done until the summer of 2015. So that gives you a sense of how long this takes. 60 days is a kind of ridiculously short amount of time to negotiate a nuclear program. But what they'll do is just keep extending that timeline, I believe, as long as something doesn't happen that fully disrupts it. But I think both sides have enough incentive to keep it going that you'll just see this continue 60 days, then another 60 days, then another 60 days, and that's kind of the new normal we're living in.
What does it tell us that the Iranians, I don't know if in this particular negotiation, but in the last one, and certainly the ones that you guys took part in, bring 30 to 40 people, nuclear experts, energy experts, ballistic missile experts, and on the American side, it's two guys. It's Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
Well, first of all, if you just look at how they work the wording of the agreements they do, they are highly detail-oriented, not just because they're lawyerly, but because they want to extract benefits from those details. Just one example from the MOU. The provision that says the U.S. would waive sanctions refers to oil, and then there's this little clause that says, and derivatives. What are derivatives? The petrochemical sector. That is the second largest sector in Iran. Now, do I think the U.S. really even understood what it was signing with that? Maybe not, but Iran knew it would get billions and billions of dollars just by inserting that word. And that's why you bring a very large delegation, because you're looking for every advantage in this highly complex, detailed negotiation. And I think as long as they're bringing that expertise and we're only bringing a couple guys, it will be advantage Iran.
What does this do to the Gulf states, who have been, staunch allies of the United States? You've talked to the leaders of many of these places. How are they looking at their future going forward?
Look, I think that they are now questioning the basic model upon which they built their security, which has been essentially a deep partnership, security partnership with the United States, including forward deployed American bases in their countries. I think now they're asking themselves, what are we getting for that? And do we need basically a more diversified approach that involves a degree of hedging with other powers, maybe including China, and definitely includes quiet diplomacy with Iran to try to make sure that they're de-escalating with their neighbor across the strait?
Bottom line, this is bad for...
Okay. This right here. Okay. This right here is one of the reasons why the plan we created here, we gave them. Okay. It incorporates all of these other countries. We did this on purpose. Now, I'll leave this right here for a second. Okay. I'll leave that pause. We'll get back to that in a second. See, this specifically, okay? This is our, World Peace Order Gulf Agreement. This is what we gave to Senator Kelly. Okay, we gave this. These were our points right here. All right, we're gonna zoom that out a little bit so we can see more. Okay, and then we'll do it like that. These are the points here. Here, let me zoom that out a little bit, and then I'll make it bigger. Okay, that's the full point screen. Yo, what up, Joe? What up, Joe? How you doing, bruh? So, the sad part about them having this whole, 60 days and another 60 days and another 60 days. I'll drop the link for you, Joe. Hold up. I know you probably want to get in on this one. That's the link right there. But we're gonna go ahead and scroll over to this page specifically because right here with the governance and command, this is probably the most important part. All right, this is single-handedly one of the most amazing situations put together known to man. And the reason why is because nobody expects this shit to work until you really think about it. Okay? this shit, man. This shit is wild. All right. This is probably the most important part. Okay, because the Gulf Security Council is the final vote on what needs to happen when it comes to the Gulf. And since all these people are in the Middle East, they definitely need to have a stake in the game. And so I made it easy for everybody to have their stake in the game. But it's actually page 7, the Gulf Security Council. That is the meat and potatoes. Like, that's the synergy. This specifically right here, this dictates how it actually works as far as all right, so this is the decision-making protocol, things like that, how they have their votes. The observers, which would be United States and Iran, they're put as observers because they don't actually get to vote. They get to have their full speaking rights, and their perception or perspective of the situation is taken into account, but you do have 3 votes, okay? Means a yes out of 5. Now, the reason why we did it this way is because we had to have certain people available, okay? And we know right now the world is twisted with religious, with all this religious shit. So you have your Christianity, you got your Hindus, your Islam, and all this shit. So it's really about balancing the religious powers by locking the political powers. If we can't lock the political powers where they can't move a certain way, then we're gonna get stuck. We're gonna get stuck with the religious institutions being the only motion. Because if your policies can't do anything, but everybody has free religion, and your religion is higher than policy, right? And we start treating religion as the go-to, then Christians have to let everybody do what they want and turn the other cheek when we get beat on. Hell no. Christians, we're allowed to defend ourselves. Jesus told us to take swords. We just weren't allowed to use those swords to stop him from going to the cross. Now, keep that in your back pocket, because it's gonna get real cooking. Religion is gonna be the only other level of law once policy is locked, or if policy can't do anything, right? That's why we need to make sure the political we have to make sure the political entities across the world are locked and they can't fight with each other. Because if they figure it out, peace without religion, see what I'm saying? It changes the game. That's one of the kickers. It's hard, okay? It's really hard to have peace without religion. Okay? Some people just won't let it go. This is one of the most beautiful things about it, because we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity, all right, to actually figure out what secular peace looks like. And this is the closest thing I got. That's the closest thing I got. Okay? And that could be a thing for the whole world. And it gives the people the power. Okay? These are things that we need to make sure we keep in mind, because everybody should have a piece of power, a piece of autonomy, as long as it's in the best interest of the people, especially if you're in power. These are things we have to stand on. We can't just do what we want and act how we want when we're in positions of authority. And yes, we should be held accountable for every fuck up, okay? Every mistake. All right? And it should be big and it should be loud. Why? Because it is. You're in the biggest, loudest position. And if you're gonna be in the kitchen, you better be able to handle the key. Real shit. It's not like we're trying to put you in a position of pain and misery on purpose. This is just a painful and miserable job because you have to take everybody's life into consideration. And if you are going in there for any other reason than to try to alleviate some of the stress of this nation, you're already in the wrong place. And you will be exposed. You will become a nothing. You would not have made any impact, and you will feel the weight of how you wasted your entire life for nothing. And on your dying bed, when you ask Jesus for forgiveness for all this shit, he's gonna not say nothing. Because you knowingly are forsaking him right now. When I say knowingly, it's like you don't even want to try at all a little bit. Are you even listening to this? Are you trying to listen to the scripture while you sleep? Are you trying to read the book at all? Do you even have a copy of the book? You know, do you even say out of your mouth, Jesus is my Lord and Savior? He is the only begotten Son of the Most High. Fine, I'll accept it. Okay. Like, how do you really feel? I mean, if you can't say that, don't ask for forgiveness on your deathbed. Don't even ask. You already made your choice. When it's time to see him, ask him if he's Allah. When it's time to see him, ask him if it's the chakra or the Krishna, whatever you want to be. But remember, in our lives, no, we are not perfect. Yes, we have made mistakes. And continuously, we have to try to be perfect. I am working on it in the best way possible. And look, I'll tell you one thing. Sex is probably the hardest thing. And weed, it takes the edge off. But that's probably the hardest thing right here. Sex and weed. For me at least. For other people, they have pride issue. There's a lot of egos out there that need to just get crushed. Okay? A real shit. There's a lot of ego out there. Now, I don't fuck with ego. It's not really my thing. Sometimes I do feel like I am smarter than a lot of people. But I'm not trying to say smart like, oh, I know all the shit in a book. I'm more commonsensical than other people. Like, when it comes to like just the knowing right and wrong or acting on what's right, I'm more prevalent to do that. Most people will act on what they feel. Whether that's right or wrong doesn't matter. It's just how they feel they're gonna do it. Me, I do everything I can to override my feelings. And it sucks because when I do finally get a feeling, it's not like a feeling, it's like a thought of something that I want. You know what I mean? And if I can't have that thought of what I want, I settle for whatever is next. Does that make sense? And I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be settling. I shouldn't be just, doing whatever, however, whenever, wherever. It's not a good look. All right? It's not good. But it's pretty nice to say that um, there's not a whole lot of females in the world. Actually, there's really no females in the world that like could come back and say, "Oh, I did some shit to them," because I don't do that kind of shit. I don't move like that. There's no woman that can say that. I'm just saying, like, there's not, like, they could say, "Oh, we got into an argument and she yelled at me and I yelled at her," or some shit like that. Like, okay, sure, there was some spats, like, and then maybe when I was a kid, like, girls were mean in school. Like, okay, sure, you know what I mean? But it wasn't nothing like out of character, like, you know. Girls are very physical creatures. They like to hit. Girls like to hit you and pretend like you can't get their ass back and shit. And that's just one of the things. One of girls' special abilities is like they can hit a man, but the man can't hit them back. It's just like they're immune to damage or some shit. Yeah, but I mean, they still got a big old booty. You can smack that thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, smack that thing a couple times, and she gonna realize, hey, hey, that kind of I can feel that a little bit. Yeah, I got your attention finally, huh? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Cause females, they're very interesting creatures. You can expect anything from a woman, from the worst to the best. I'm talking about there's an absolute spectrum that women are on. It's like capable of anything spectrum. Like men are not capable of anything. Women are capable of anything, my nigga. Don't turn your back on a bitch, bruh. I don't give a fuck. Look, whether people like me or not, whether I run for president or not, whether I do anything memorable with my life or not, women are an undeniable force. It's fucking scary and it's sexy. So be afraid, my nigga. Be very fucking afraid. If you could keep it real with a woman, be straight up, she might not like you, but she'll respect you. Okay? Women, they have niggas they hate, but they still respect that, man. They hate the fucking guts, though. But they wouldn't fucking try to act crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some men, they don't have no respect for it. They just gonna go crazy, go nuts, just boom, boom, boom. And me, as soon as that shit happens, I've learned after all these years that the Bible talks about this shit. It's better to be in a freaking high room of the house all to yourself than in the presence of a brawling woman. The other one is like, dude, be in the wilderness, be in a big ass house with a woman that got an attitude. Basically, it's just like, man, like I'm telling you, the Bible ain't got nothing nice to say about women, bruh. The Bible ain't got shit nice to say about women. Not really, except like love them and treat them like they the weaker vessel and shit. But bruh, the Bible ain't got nothing nice to say about women except Proverbs 31. But homegirl was still doing what she want to do. Her husband didn't tell her to do shit. I didn't hear her do shit, that nigga said. Matter of fact, it sounded like she was running shit to me, and he was kind of just there. Like, what was he doing? How did he get his money? Because she sure did have a corporation and all kinds of shit. Shorty was running some shit, all right? Let me get a Proverb 31 woman. Hey, baby, look, I shouldn't even have to pay no bills. Matter of fact, Proverb 31 woman was doing every damn thing. I should be kicking it with the kids and teaching the men. And the girls should be up under you. Period. There shouldn't be no other men around. Why? Because the women need to get their minds together and work. Y'all need to dig and dabble in y'all freaking, like, you just made a new product today and now you're showing me your new freaking thing you made. Because that's what you were doing all day. Not messing around with some random whoever in the fuck. See what I'm saying? And this is one of the things people aren't understanding, that women are actually supposed to do everything. That's what God created them for. Because if it was just us by ourselves, think about it. If you throw a man in the wilderness all by himself with no woman, what happens? Think about it. Does he socialize? What does he do? He'll probably find a dog or something. Some kind of pet. Become one with some kind of nature or something, right? What does he do? Does he live in a hole? Like, does he take the time to build a cabin? You know? Like, what does he do? See, that's the part. But as soon as a woman comes along, what does a man do? He's trying to make her comfortable so she can do the shit she gotta do. He trying to make sure she got all the shit she need to do the shit she need to do. That is what I'm pointing out. So, this one, a lot of people, it might miss a lot of people, but that's crazy fucking work right here. But this right here, this shit, this is the it right. But we'll get back to this other shit.
To the United States' image, it's been bad for allies. But at the end of the day, it's better than continuing this misguided war, right? And it's sort of like bad for Trump, good for the world.
It's always hard to hold two conflicting ideas in your head at once. This is a terrible deal. Iran has won huge. The United States has lost out huge. On the other hand, it beats continuing this war. And so we should all be glad that the war is over, even though we're stuck with something that is much worse than we could have gotten if we had never started this war in the first place.
You have been quite critical of this war in a number of articles that you've written for The Atlantic magazine. The most recent headline, Trump's endgame is surrender. An earlier piece is subtitled, Washington can't reverse or control the consequences of losing this war. But the main issue Trump says he went to war over is Iran's highly enriched uranium. And that is still to be negotiated, even if this deal or this memorandum of understanding is signed. So how is that defeat, let alone irreversible, when the central question is still at play here?
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, we need to just build.
Well, that is not the defeat. I think that, you know, what's happening and what happens or doesn't happen with the HEU remains to be seen. I'm guessing probably nothing is going to happen, but the defeat has to do with the Strait. And by the way, I'm quite skeptical that we're at the brink of an agreement, because the Iranians are not going to allow the Strait to be turned back to the way it was before the war began. They're not going to return it to being an international waterway. It's going to be open, but it's going to be open under new management, namely Iranian management. And that is a game changer in the region and in the world, because it gives Iran the power to punish nations who are not behaving the way it wants to. It gives Iran control over who gets in the strait and who doesn't get in the strait, who has difficulty getting through and who doesn't. And that is going to have a major effect on the geopolitical situation.
Yeah, Iran has definitely proven that they can choke off the Strait of Hormuz and that the U.S. can essentially do nothing to stop them. Do you buy this narrative that the president wasn't aware?
You know, that should never be said out loud. Why the fuck would you say that out loud, bitch? Why would you even insist that Iran has any power when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz? You just reaffirmed all the fuck shit we're trying to overwrite, you dumb bitch, by opening up your fucking mouth on live fucking TV with 19 million people watching you, you stupid bitch. Why would you fucking say that? CNN has lost their fucking mind. Okay? To put out the opposition against our own fucking government is the lamest fucking shit. Why are you promoting the fucking enemy, you dumb fucking network? You guys are talking the worst possible shit when you could absolutely be asking more questions about what the fuck is in that deal, how the fuck the president was even going to manage monitoring and things like this. Probe the fucking shit. See what the mechanisms are. If they don't have that, that's how you expose them. But don't make it seem like Iran is this big bad wolf and the US just ran into it. Don't do that. That is not okay. That is not necessary. And all you're doing is destroying the integrity of our country as a whole. Your faith is just trying to condemn. You have nothing good in your soul. Look at your eyes. You have nothing good in you. Look at this guy over here. He's hearing all this shit, and the disparity is starting to take over him. And he's starting to, it's like he's hearing this for the first time. Even though he's been prepping for this shit. He knows it's deeper than that. But he's going to feed into this delusion. Because look at the despair on his face. Like he doesn't have a choice but to say this. Even though it's not probably the right shit.
That this would be the leverage that Iran would go to if put in this position. This is something that a number of military experts, political experts for decades have been warning of. How do you think this happened?
I think the president, who's a very short-term oriented person, saw a glittering prize, which was working with the Israelis to take out and destroy the Iranian regime. I think that Bibi Netanyahu and...
Look at the way his fucking head is bobbling. Look at the way his head was bobbling. Like he gotcha moment.
His advisors sold Trump on this plan, and told him he would be the great hero, and he didn't think about the next day too much. But I'm fairly confident that he was told by his advisors that this was a problem. At least they would have been horribly remiss in their duties if they had not told him, because every administration for decades has considered this question and come out with the answer that this is the problem, that Iran would be able to retaliate in ways that we would find unacceptable. So that was one of the turns to our doing this, and Trump just simply disregarded it because, as he often does, he saw a chance for a big win.
Hold up. This shit right here, my nigga. This shit right here. Look at his face. That's a straight ass lie. Look at his face. He don't even believe the shit he's saying right now. This is just some old dumb shit that he didn't wrote up, or some old dumb shit that was already scripted. Why? Why are they trying to play this game? Because later it's gonna be a different story. All right. So this is one of the things I wanted to point out. These people, this is all fake. It's all a facade. It's all pretend with them. It really is. If this was the truth, they would have invested more.
Win for him, and he didn't think too much about the consequences.
And now that precedent has been set by Iran. You mentioned Israel. Something that we heard from President Trump last week was now demanding that Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and others join the Abraham Accords as condition for an Iran deal. You have said that this war has destroyed the Abraham Accords. You've also called them hollow, suggesting the peace between countries that were never going to fight was really, in essence, a point as to why the Abraham Accords didn't carry much weight. That is somewhat of a contradiction, I would argue, but even more significantly, we've seen trade boom among Abraham Accord nations. The deal survived the Gaza war. So how does that not cut against your argument?
Well, whatever the virtues of the Abraham Accords, I'm not saying they had no virtues. I just don't think they were very significant in terms of keeping peace. But that's beside the point. The fact is the Abraham Accords are dead now. The United States has demonstrated to the Gulf allies, and Israel has demonstrated to its Gulf allies or its Gulf friends, that we are incapable of protecting them in this situation. They took a pounding. They are the ones who are mostly pushing for a peace right now because they don't want to continue that. And more importantly, the notion that anyone is going to sign up now in an agreement with Israel and the United States after Israel and the United States have effectively lost this conflict to Iran is ludicrous. And the truth is, and this has been well reported, that those countries that Trump was talking about trying to get to sign up with the Abraham Accords were basically either amused or stunned that he would make this suggestion right now. Israel's a pariah in the region, and no one, least of all the Saudis, are now going to be signing up for the Abraham Accords. This is part of Trump's, self-delusion or attempt to delude the rest of us. But in any case, it's not happening.
Yeah, the reporting said that this demand was met with stunned silence. But then what do you say to those who point to the strengthened ties that we've seen between Israel and the UAE in particular?
I think that's over. I think that's old news. I think that the consequences of this war is that the Gulf states are now going to have to make their...
Why is he speaking this into existence? Why is he speaking this into existence? Why is he speaking this into existence? Look at his face. If this shit fucking backfires, I'm gonna fucking have this moment right here. Cause I want CNN to understand that the shit that they're doing right here is not helping nobody. You are trying to manipulate. You are trying to manipulate. Okay? It's going to hurt you. The reason why I liked it, because I want to make sure I can find it. I don't want to say it. No, not say it. I probably should. Just so I can get to that state. Just so I can get to that state. It's that guy right there. That guy's in trouble. This guy.
Arrangements with Iran in order to survive economically. They depend on access to the Strait, obviously. And so long as Iran controls the Strait, they're going to have to make a deal with Iran. We see what Oman is already doing in terms of working with Iran on procedures for controlling the Strait. Other Gulf states will also have to make arrangements. I don't think people understand, perhaps, what is actually going on in this conflict right now. We lost this war back in March when Trump decided he didn't want to suffer or didn't want to see the region suffer from Iranian attacks. He called for the ceasefire. There's been a ceasefire ever since. He has not been willing to resume the conflict, and the Iranians, who are perfectly aware of that, are therefore not willing to make any concessions, and they haven't made any concessions.
Whatever. Anyways, I'm being real. Iran. This is wild. This is wild. I can't even say he's wrong about everything. He's not wrong about a lot of shit. Okay. It's sad. It's very sad. This is very sad. This is very sad. I keep looking at this. I keep trying to make sense of oh man, it's so funny. Oh, the United States, they got mad at these defense contractors because they're charging the U.S. they're overcharging the U.S. for all of the shit. Oh, man. Oh, oh my god, bro. It's so fun. This is fun. This is hilarious. Like, the U.S. just made a fool of themselves right now by not letting Trump just obliterate that country. Yeah, those Gulf states got hit or whatever. But the thing is, we have been giving them time and space to do this shit, and we haven't been keeping the pressure up this whole time. We should have just been keeping the pressure up, holding our place. I gave them this plan months ago, bro. There's no reason we should be right here right now. This should have been handled towards the end of April. And they should have been shaking my hand in the White House. Just ask somebody. Y'all don't have to know everything, man. Just ask somebody for help, bro. I gave y'all I alley-ooped it. All you had to do is dunk that shit. Damn you, Senator Kelly. Now you think you finna run for office? Fuck out of it. Man, that's crazy work, bro. That hurts my heart. I gave you the plan. It hurts my heart. Damn. It's all good. It's all good. Things will change here in the future. We just gotta wait it out. Like I said, we're gonna let Islam start doing their thing. Israel, sorry G, you're toast. You're toast. If Iran gets to control that strait, yo, oh my gosh, bro. Oh man. Bro, Israel, you're toast. Like you don't like Saudi and Yemen, bro. Like you really gotta think about this, bro. This is not good. This is not good. Israel, this is not good. Gonna drag Jordan into some shit they don't want to be a part of. Yo, you just better hope. Egypt doesn't flip. If Egypt flips, yeah. But I don't know. It was a part of the Abraham Accords, I guess. I don't know. I gave them a blueprint. I gave them a fucking blueprint. The United Nations, you could have did it. It's too late now. It's too late now. too late now. Dang, there's no way out of this, bro. I have to take this ass whooping. Y'all gonna have to take this ass whooping. Dang. About to get whacked. Sauce, bruh. Look at turkey. Look at turkey. Oh, man. I want to get to turkey, man. I'm telling you. It's religious sect shit. Better hope they don't do a United Arab States or some shit. That'd be dumb. I wouldn't do it. I better be careful, man. Iran just bullied y'all, bro. Damn, the rest of y'all's a bunch of pussies. I ain't gonna lie. The United States came over there and fucking did defend y'all. We blew up a lot of their shit. Hey, y'all so fucking pussy. Y'all didn't even go in at all. Y'all didn't do shit. Y'all didn't even try. Y'all some little tiny ass ain't shit trying to be some kind of sovereign state thinking you sovereign. You not. They hit some bases that were American ran and paid for and owned or whatever. Did any of your people get hit? No? Alright, cool. So America remains the top. It's not like the whole entire base was destroyed, was it? No, it just sounds like shot at the base, as far as I know. It's not like we can't go and finish the shit. That's the thing. This might be it. This might be the World War III that everybody needs. Because we got a bunch of shit left. It's just not the shit y'all want us to pull out. Feel me? And it seems like everything so far has been tactical, and they've been using a surplus. Okay? Now, the surplus is probably maybe halfway or so. I wouldn't even say that. I would just say something like that. And they're saying the surplus is the main thing. And what they want to do is they want to replenish the surplus. Because we don't want to go into our main, okay? Because if we go into our main, then we have to start counting reserves. Now, we do have reserves, and what they want to do is probably replenish reserves and stuff like that, or actually start building reserves even more than what they are. Now, we still have our surplus. We're still working on our surplus. The surplus has not been named because remember, we've been putting lots and lots of money into this for a long time. So there has to be something to show for it eventually, right? Now, we have the next one, the beautiful. Okay, they're trying to do something, right? This is awesome. This puts us in a better position now. So, we will allow America to fall on its head because that's what it has to do. I could sit here and talk. I don't think anybody would listen, right? That's where we end up. So, I could go into that, but I don't think I want to call it so I can figure out how to finish getting the studio upgraded and shit like that. So, I'm about to call it. So, hopefully everybody had a good day today. It's time for me to get the fuck up out of here. You know, I gotta, finish getting the studio together, and then I gotta make sure that I get the rest of my life together, right? Get some more money. Money is a thing. Hopefully you guys can hear me real good on this one. I tried to make sure like I had a decent setup here, so hopefully those sounds was coming through for y'all, and these people need to change their mind, you know what I mean? Because if I don't get my together, I'm just gonna be all over the place. You see what I'm saying? So today will be better once you get some sleep. All right. Time for the fuck up because it's been so long.
Get ready.
My little homegirl put me on. She said, this shit brand new, free flow. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh? You forgot about that part. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh? You forgot about that part. Lady rappers been spitting like they ain't got a heart. Because when I step to the game, I rip that shit apart. My evolution with the Gyarados from Magic Carpet.
You do not
shopping till
want
the
to
whole world
change
is in my cart. When you fucking with
if
me,
you do not want to better
and
yourself,
play your
if you do
part.
not want to break
functionality and strategize smart.
this matrix,
Motion through reality.
if you want to live in your comfortable delusion that they have built for you,
I'm trying as hard as I can against all of the odds. Pushing as hard as I could is what got me so far. But what are my chances of actually reaching the stars? Still, I will never get up tatted over my heart. Never my senses hiding in my weed up in the jar.
Don't want to understand. If you are not here
like I'm Jafar. When it comes to the game,
hear
I'm an
something that's outside of your own mind and accept others' minds and opinions and the way they think for themselves, you do not belong.
Like that shit sounds bizarre. Your favorite rapper try hard, still is a mark.
If you are not trying
still
to
like the fuel to
be
the
positive,
game, watch it spark.
if you are not trying to help create solutions while we discuss the problems and how they got here,
spar, barbecue
you do
your
not
beef
belong
up
here.
like the seats in my car.
Negativity,
Cool yourself up,
hate,
refrigerator,
disrespect, name calling, those things will not be allowed here on this platform and not in this empire. We are the ones, the true Americans that want to be free and stand as we have always stood.